Hello, everyone. Hello, my friends. Hello, crypt dwellers. Ooh, that's good. Welcome back once again to the virtual crypt this week. Welcome back to another episode of Lost in the Dark podcast. Could not be a more special episode. We have some more extraordinary guests on today. We have Wade, Ryan, Storm, and Jeremy, vocals, guitar, bass from the band Interpreter. Okay? They're out of Tennessee, and they are fucking monstrous. They're working on a new EP. We talk about all kinds of stuff on this episode. Very, very excited, and it was amazing. We had an amazing time. It was amazing to have them here, and we look forward to them coming back. So, without further ado, everyone, please welcome Interpreter. And I believe we're rolling. All right. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Lost in the Dark podcast. And as you can see, we have some new people in the virtual crypt tonight. The band out of Tennessee, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Out of Tennessee, Interpreter is joining us. Very nice to meet you guys. Thank you very much for being here.
Hello.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, definitely. So who are we missing right now?
We're missing the drummer. It is Aaron.
Aaron, funny enough, because my co-host's name is Aaron, and he is the drummer for a band called Bogwraith up here in Lansing, Michigan.
Nice.
I was like, that's amusing.
He's working the brutal hours at Walmart.
Right. Real. Essential.
Yeah, that's right. Ain't getting that essential pay, that's for sure.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess the first thing I'd like to kind of get started on is I always like to ask people how'd you become a metalhead? Like, what are your what's everyone's metal, like, personal metal origins and stuff?
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I mean, like, I started in like the new metal and then graced my way back into the old metal. Like, I think the first band that I listened to was Zayo. And then I was like, oh, there's this Korn, and then got into all that new metal stuff. And then I was like, someone was like, hey, listen to this. And they handed me Metallica's Black album. And I was like, all right, I can dig this. And then, like, I was sold ever since.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
All right.
Nice.
I'll go next. Oh, wait.
Is Wade gonna go?
No, go ahead. Oh, okay. All right. I was about 8 years old or so. My brother-in-law, he had walked in on me listening to AC/DC and playing guitar and stuff, and proceeded to give me shit about it and introduced me to Lamb of God as well as Trivium. I have been hooked ever since, dude. Ever since.
Hell yeah. I mean, I would still say AC/DC is pretty hard especially for an 8-year-old, like, to be started on at least.
Well, I mean, I got it from my father, but my brother-in-law was always like, they don't really do anything cool. They just strum chords and have a good time. And I'm like,
and also, I'm the only one in my family on both sides that is a complete metalhead to. Yeah, it's retarded. Like, my family's like, how do you listen to this music? I'm like, how does it not make you angry? It's like, actually, it makes me sane, so I don't get it.
Makes me happy.
It's got the reverse effect of, it makes me happy, so I'm not mad all the time.
I'm the same way, dude. It's the exact same way. The only one in my family.
Like, the people at my work are like, oh, Ryan's at work because we can hear the rah-rah music. Like, yeah, whatever.
You can't they're talking about Satan. How do you know? You can't understand this.
Yeah. I guess my first experience with metal was the Ride the Lightning album by Metallica, because I'd say about 7, and hearing my uncle doing his drums in there, decided to, walk in there and peep, hearing him listening to Ride the Lightning. And it was actually the track Ride the Lightning that he was playing And ever since, I was just like, I want to learn how to play drums. So I ended up proceeding how to play drums and then putting it down because mom was like, no, I'm not going through the same shit I went through with my brother. So you can't do that. So to experience that, I had to experience not only all of the 90s metal music, which back then I thought was so heavy, and it wasn't. But I love every aspect of the genre rock, from AC/DC to Cannibal Corpse.
Fuck yeah.
So with me, it's kind of a funny story of how this actually went down. It was like a week transition of okay, so it started with Switchfoot, believe it or not. Yeah. I was just like, hey, this is cool guitars. And then, because I was like an Eminem guy. Then I watched American Idiot by Green Day. I went to school talking about it, and this guy comes up to me. He's just like, dude, that shit's for pussies. And I was like, all right. And he's like, check this out. And immediately I fell in love. It was Waking the Cadaver being chased through the woods by a rapist.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Every Waking the Cadaver.
ever since then, this is what it's been.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. No, and I definitely agree with you two. Well, Green Day's for pussies. That's funny. I like them too, so it's still funny. But no, I'm with you too. The everything from, like you said, AC/DC to Cannibal. Yeah, like that's something. And that's something too that I noticed when I was checking out you guys' Facebook page and everything. There was something on there somewhere that said like no subgenres. Like we're not a subgenre, we're a conglomerate of all this different stuff. And that's something that I've always like I feel like that's where things are going, and I really like it when people just like really embrace that, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we try to keep to like a specific, well, not like a specific style, but just kind of like
A variety range.
Like we go like, hey, our base is this, and then we're just gonna add some flavor around.
We
that.
just like to be fucking heavy.
I mean, we just like to be heavy. I mean, if it's heavy, it's heavy. I mean, we dig it. And it's gonna, whether it's slam or whether it slams out or it's like blast beat death metal
Or gets genty and complicated.
I mean, we're a mathy. Like I love math metal. Like
That's one thing I've noticed about this band. We're all 5 completely different musicians. I've noticed that.
I mean, that's kind of what makes us us.
That's why I call us interpreter, because we are people that want to provide a service, and our service is currently heavy metal.
Heavy music.
Yeah, exactly.
That's hell fucking yeah. That's awesome. And that's actually something I was gonna ask you about. Does the name, like, where did the name come from? Does the name have...
That's a Wade question.
Interpreter. Okay, so I was sitting there thinking about it, and you know, a lot of people when they're listening to metal, they're like, I don't understand what they're saying. And then it just came to me. I said, well, then, you know, to interpret, to understand. And so I was like, interpreter, why not use that as a band name? Because most people don't understand. So why not be interpretive? But that was really it for me, was the saying to understand. And so I was like, interpreter, why not?
Nice. All right. That's that. I like that. That's really cool, actually, because that is a really good point. That is something that a lot of people, I'm sure everybody here has had a lot of people go, I don't understand why you listen to that, like you just said. So
yeah,
he's just roaring and roaring and talking about Stan.
Right, yeah.
Now,
What's some guy named Stan?
Fucking done with you.
is Interpreter all of your favorite bands, or have you guys had previous projects before this?
Oh Jesus!
Well, me and Wade used to be in a band way back in the day called Behold the Slaughter, and then these two guys were in a band together.
I've been in a.
I mean, I've been in multiple. I've been playing in bands since I was like 15. I'm about to turn 35.
I played my first show when I was 12.
I've been doing this for practically half my life. He's an old man.
It's hard to find people, as far as me, that is dedicated.
Yeah.
You can find many musicians out there, but it's really about dedication and the work. If you can't put in the work, if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. And unfortunately, the heat right now is the music industry.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't come together as a unit, make decisions, and legitimately decide on what's best for the 5 of you in that name, whatever your band is, then it won't work. And I've had to deal with that half of my music career up until now.
Same.
Until now. Like everybody in the band right now is like super dedicated, puts their input in.
It never
it's like,
stops.
and I always treat a band like a democracy. And that's fucking weird because like majority rules basically. Like we will vote on shit. It's like 4 against 2, or or 4 against whatever.
1.
And, 4 against 1. Math is hard. But yeah, shit like that. Like we'll recently we just came up and we were like, hey, are we gonna call our EP? The EP we're releasing later this year. We're gonna go self-titled, or are we gonna go with a name? And we all did a vote, and we all decided upon, hey, we're gonna do a name.
This.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like, and it's cool because like, and nobody gets butthurt, which is kind of cool. Like, you can't get butthurt in a band. Like that.
Right.
This is plain and simple. Like
Constructive criticism.
exactly.
I take it.
Basically, everybody's opinion is taken into consideration.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Everybody's opinion is taken into consideration.
That's awesome. What do you come from any previous projects, Wade?
Like Ryan said, Behold the Slaughter. This is probably my 3rd project that I've done, and honestly, it's the most successful this far.
Awesome. That's awesome. So then, yeah, that brings me to the next thing. How did Interpreter come to be? What's the band's origin story?
Shit.
That's a long story.
Good thing we got all the time in the world, because fuck me, that's a fucking story.
Oh, yeah.
I'll let Wade start this off.
Okay, so obviously, like Ryan was saying, we were playing in Behold the Slaughter, and then I stepped down as the frontman. Things wasn't really, going in the direction. Everybody, like you said, democracy. They took a vote, and everything went as it did. And then I was sitting there one night, like I was saying with the name, and I was like, I want to continue music. So I started thinking about band names, and I said, what's a good meaning for a band name? And I said, well, I started thinking about people understanding metal, and I was like, what about Interpreter? So I started that. I went on Google, looked up some alien language, and it had the full alphabet. I hand drew the base logo and sent it off to a graphic artist. I was working at Amazon at the time, and I was walking through the cafeteria, and some guy out of nowhere goes, nice show the other night. And obviously it was my last show with Behold the Slaughter at Main Street Live. And I was like, wait a second, you were there? He's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, cool, that's what's up. He's like, I like metal too. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, I play guitar. And I was like, well, cool. Like, his name was Cody Wilson. And me and him got together and started writing some jams. And then we brought in a guitarist named Brian Sisk. As I'm hitting up people, I got tired of the excuse, I don't have this, or I'd love to do it, but I don't have that. So I actually went out of my way before I actually started taking it serious and bought about a whole band worth of gear, from a drum set to a bass rig and a guitar cabinet, and went from there. Started searching for talent, brought in a guy named Brandon Stipes. Dude, when I say this guy can drum, hands down, he could drum. I only had problems with how they came to practice. We're not going to get in depth with it, but we all know that there are some things that can affect a musician that takes them down a wrong path.
We'll just go say substance abuse, because
Yes.
that's the main.
And then so I started looking for other drummers. Hadn't found one yet. Got introduced to a guy named Nick Gee, brought him in. Brian Sisk decided to step down. Cody Wilson decided it wasn't the style that he wanted to go for, which is okay. Then I kept bugging Ryan. I kept bugging him. I was like, yo, like, come play. And he was like, nah, I don't know, man. You know, Behold the Slaughter right now, you know, it's all I really need to focus on. And I respected it. It was cool. Then things started going separate ways with Behold the Slaughter. I was like, Ryan, come play. And he was like, well, you know what? Fuck it. Everybody else is in a band. Why another band? Why can't I be? And we hit up a guy named Zach Brown. And he came in to play drums, and we ended up writing a song called Display. And from then on out, we knew what direction to go. Ryan came in, and he actually brought 2 instrumentals with him that hadn't been wrote to. And I was like, I listened to the first one, and it brought chills to the back of my neck listening to it. And I was like, we need to use this. And so I went to Nick Gee's studio and wrote to it. And at the time, I was inspired to push myself beyond my limits as far as vocally. And so I wanted to write something fast. And that actually happened in the breakdown. And there it went. We just started blossoming into a beautiful thing from there. And so a lot of things went south. We had some problems, obviously, with substances again, and so we had to make arrangements with members. We ended up, me and Ryan still stayed in contact. Obviously, we weren't really moving anywhere with the band at the moment, and but you know, we didn't give up. We almost did. I moved, and I was like, you know, we need a practice spot. You know, this isn't going to work. I ended up messaging several musicians throughout the industry. There was Sam Snyder, Norman Reagan, but they kind of guided me in the right direction, especially Norman. He was like, man, try hitting up this guy, Taylor Sullivan. He's pretty good. And so I hit him up, and he came out, and I hit Storm and Jeremy. Well, I actually hit Storm about 3 or 4 times, and he was like, man, leave me alone. I said, dude, 4 times. I told him, I said, you've got a wonderful talent. I said, you know, you can really play if you actually just try to put your mind to it. I said, I've seen what you can do as far as guitar. You can shred. I said, but let's see what you can actually do. And he was just like, man, I'm going to sell my gear. And I said, dude, don't do this. You're making a big mistake. And he said, you know, I'll give it some thought. And then one day out of the blue, about maybe a month or so later, he messaged me. He's like, all right. He's like, where do I need to be? And by this time, I had invested into an electric storage unit. Granted, it was blistering hot outside, but we had air conditioners, to little portable ones, to make it work. And we still got them.
They're around here somewhere. They're still kicking.
So everybody came out, and he actually brought Jeremy with him. He's like, hey, I got a guy that might be good for drums or bass. And I was like, well, I've got a guy coming out to try out for drums. We still hadn't tried out Taylor yet. And Taylor came out, and dude's gold. Dude was gold. Again, you know, some things got in the way. And I hate to say that, as things got in the way, and we ended up having to part ways with him. But as far as the lineup with these guys right here, it was like super glue. You're not pulling it off the table. Like, so, you know, we all like put our heads together on what we wanted to do musically. And at the time we had just started practicing the backing tracks, and obviously, like I said, had to part ways with the drummer. Some of my equipment disappeared. That put us back a little bit. So we went through the mud on our face, just drug like through the mud. So we didn't have a drummer. Everybody didn't see it fit to come out if we didn't have a drummer. I stayed going to Ryan's house. We ended up writing Welcome Home. Well, actually, he wrote the instrumentals for Welcome Home, programmed the drums, and I was like, yo, just send me that. He was like, well, it's not really finished. And I was like, I don't care, just send it to me. So he sent it to me. I wrote the lyrics, and he was like, I said, dude, it's done. And he's like, well, fuck it, come over and record. And I was like, all right, cool. And with that, you know, Welcome Home came about, and I hit up a guy that I had teased the idea to numerous times. Granted, I forgot every time because we were black shit-faced hammered. And you know, it was welcoming each time. He was just like, yeah, fuck yeah, dude. And like, you know, the first time I talked to him, he was like, I don't know with my schedule, the way that it's working, I don't know if I'd be able to do it. I was like, dude, just come out and give it a shot. He's like, you know what? All right, fuck it, I'll give it a shot. And so I told Ryan, I was like, dude, I got a drummer that's going to come out. And I've seen what he can do at one of my parties. I threw a house party one time, and he came over. And, of course, I had, you know, like I said, I had all the equipment in a room. And he ripped the shit out of the set. And I said, dude, what the fuck are you doing? He was like, I don't know, playing drums. I was like, dude, you're fucking good. Let's go. Like, why haven't you came out? And so I brought him out to Ryan's house, and at the time I had just purchased a electric drum kit. And I was like, dude, let's see what you got. And so with that, he got on an E-kit and just went to fucking town, and Ryan hooked up his guitar, and we was like, yeah, this is the way to go. And his name's Aaron, obviously, and that's our current drummer now. And ever since then, it's been like thick butter on toast, so much that it's disgusting. And so with that, this is it.
So Welcome Home was the first release then?
As the current lineup, it is the first release. Okay. Yes. We did release a couple of demos. Before everybody came about, I went to Sam Snyder before reaching out to the new lineup and recorded a single called Alligator, because Brian and Sis had this saying that he kept on referencing riffs and stuff with like words like meat potatoes, and I was like, cheesy potatoes, Alligator, that's what it was called. And you know, my main influences was Tony Danza, Tap Dance Extravaganza, and Oceano. And so I took those two sounds and I was like, hey, let's do this, and meshed it, and out popped Alligator. But I'm not going to lie, it was great for what it was. And that major thanks to Sam and Robbie Bingham for helping me put that out. Everything had to be retracked and whatnot for reasons, you know, unknown. But, you know, the current lineup, it's everything I could ever want as far as a lineup and members that are all on the same page and willing to do what it takes to make it. And so
don't make us blush, Wade.
I'm very proud. I'm very proud of the decisions that I've made in the past, as far as, you know, talking to all these people and pushing them to get to this point, as far as even giving me the time of day to join. And I guess I'm just so thankful for it.
That's awesome. That's great. That's awesome. Did anybody?
It's a long ass story, man. It's really that he pretty much nailed it on the head. That like me and him have been through thick and thin, because like for the most part, like he said, like me and him were it was literally just me and him for about, I want to say, close damn near to a year. And
Yeah.
we were just like, let's just keep writing, like, let's just keep writing music. So like when we do get a lineup, we can just be like, we have all the material. Here it is. Like, you just got to learn it. Like, so basically, and then like, the reason why we've been doing, like, holding off on putting out releases is because every time we get to the recording process or getting stuff laid down, like, the drummer would, like, we've had a major deal with drummers. So the drummer would come in, lay his tracks down, and then he would fucking vanish. And you'd be like, oh, cool. Well, if you get a new drummer, his style is going to be completely different than the old drummer. So we're just like, it was to the point where we're just like, I'm going to program all the drums, and if people hate it, they're going to hate it. Whatever.
Oh yeah, but it's a good fit
But
with.
now we got Aaron, and Aaron's great. Like,
Aaron's a fucking
Aaron
wonderful
Aaron
drummer.
is a
God.
fucking beast.
If you want to check out Aaron, make sure you go to our YouTube page. He's got the box cover, and you can see absolutely what Aaron's got.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The Fish Fest live video, though.
That's
His warmonger feel is just
It's-
music to my fucking ears, dude.
Hell
I
yeah.
love it.
Yeah, that welcome home video is fucking monstrous. It's absolutely, it's fucking breakdown city, and I fucking love it.
You're welcome.
Absolutely.
Dude, you want to, the story behind that song is like, I wanted to write the most spacious fucking breakdown I could. And I was like, I'm going for it. Fuck it. Like, I'm just going for it. And I did. There was like 30 different renditions before I kind of settled on, like, this is the pattern. This is what we're going with. And that is Welcome Home.
I personally fucking hated the breakdown. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
We all had it till we learned it.
Yeah. The breakdown is very off-timey because, once
Yeah.
again, I'm a math metal guy. So, like, I'm all about the 4 on the 5 and the 3 on the 4 type shit. So, like, like it's fucking out there.
It's been a challenge learning your music, homie.
It
Yeah,
is.
absolutely.
What can I say?
No,
I
I thought that made it stand out. Honestly, I dug how it was like time. I could tell it was time differently and stuff. I really liked that actually. Thought that was awesome.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. So what year? Welcome Home came out last year or the year before?
I want to say it came out 2018.
July 4th,
Yeah,
2018.
2018. Yeah.
Okay. And then since then, there was the Tic Toxic video,
Yeah.
which was great name, by the way. That's another sick. That's a sick title.
Well, you're welcome. It was just called TikTok, and then I was like, no, Tic Toxic.
Yeah. Then the ending on the clock sound is fucking haunting. I like that a lot too.
Once again, you're welcome.
Damn.
You're welcome.
The idea, man. So that, I guess then at that point, that brings us to now. What have you guys been up to with all, like, everything shut down and everything? Do you normally play like a lot of shows on a regular basis?
Yeah, we actually
We had to turn down.
we had to turn a lot of tours down because, like, at the beginning of the year, we signed with
Legend
Agency.
Legend Agency, which
Yeah.
is Keith
Yeah.
Wampler.
Shout out to
From
Keith.
Convalescence. Yeah. Shout out to Keith.
Shout out to Toby too.
Yeah,
I miss you.
everybody in Convalescence, because like,
Yeah.
those guys are awesome. But yeah, we hooked up with him, and he started getting us a bunch of shows. Like, he got us a show in Austin City. Got us a show in Austin City Limits. They went and did that. I couldn't do it because my job forbade me to not do it, but I wanted to so bad.
The first set of road shows that we had lined up. The first one was Texas. We had talked about three different tours of 3 parts of the year.
Yeah.
And then everything decided to happen because as soon as we got back from doing the show, it was already starting to go downhill
Yeah.
going to the show.
I want to say COVID was happening during this time. Like
Yes.
it just now. Like
Texas quarantined the Monday after we got
yeah. So basically,
Yes.
like we didn't even know if this show was even happening.
They gave us the green light. We drove. We played. As soon as we got back, it was just like, you know what? We're cutting a cord.
And literally, they shut Texas down the next
That
day.
next day.
Wow. That's wild. So yeah, no, I had I'm sure like many people, I had tickets to a show, and it was like, I think it was 3 days away, and then everything just got shut down.
Dude, yes, COVID shit has been gnarly, dude.
Yeah.
I was
because I work in the live entertainment industry, like for the company I work for, we do the production lighting and stuff like that. So
That's
like
awesome.
it's been fucking hell for any of those companies. I'm lucky I'm still employed by my company because of that shit, but like most of the like it's been rough as far as like the live music industry is taken a huge hit. So basically what the thing is like we were the first to shut down and we will be the last to come back.
Yeah. Yep.
Guaranteed, I'm telling you right now that's fact.
Mhm.
We will be the last one to come back because no one gives a shit about us. I'm being real.
Except for us fucking people that fucking spend all their time in the venues.
Yeah,
Yes.
that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, like those people I feel because like most venues have like shut down permanently because of that shit. Like, and
Hey,
it's
I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to Nashville though, because they just put a couple $1 million
oh yeah.
into the venues to keep them open here in Nashville.
That's
If you've
awesome.
ever been to the
Yeah.
end,
Yeah.
the end was hit really hard with that, and the fact that they came through with that is a fucking miracle.
yeah, because they were gonna bulldoze all that shit.
That was all the metal.
Hotel, dude.
That
Yeah,
was
they were gonna
all
fill
of the
hotel.
metal industry down
Yeah.
low key, like deathcore. Anything that was low tuned or remotely metal would have died because we already have a small underground as it is. It's big, but there's hardly anywhere to play because it just keeps going down. They're looking towards the next country music star or even the next cover band, which is sad.
Yeah.
So the fact that we have at least one or two venues throughout the entire state is a miracle.
Well, it's mainly Middle Tennessee. There's
There's
plenty of
there's
venues
plenty-
out east and
there-
out
there-
west,
there's
but not
plenty
Middle
of
Tennessee.
venues, but Middle Tennessee is like very limited.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very limited.
It's all country music city, bub.
I mean, yeah. But,
Oh.
hold on. That's my kid.
No worries. There you go.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
She
Yeah,
might do
no.
it again.
It's actually similar up here. I'm in Lansing, Michigan, and we have two venues that ever play any kind of metal, and rumor has it one of them is not reopening, like closed permanently as
That's
of right now. Yeah, and we do have a really like pretty solid underground scene here.
Yeah, it's a 5-year-old. She's like she's
Oh.
inside. She's inside and she's got tablet. I might have to dip out and go talk to her for a second.
No worries. No worries. But yeah, it's so. What have you guys, I guess, been up to? Like, if you were during the pandemic, what have you been doing during this time? Writing, working on anything new?
During the pandemic, we have been actually scheduling the release of our EP. We've been in the recording process. Obviously, we've had to redo everything, but I will say that everything has been redone for the better. And we've actually written a few new songs. One of those will premiere on the EP. As far as releases go, new material, we are in the process of still writing new material, but as far as the EP, it's recorded, it's in the mixing processes. We got a couple guest features that are going to be they're still yet to be recorded. Maybe I think like 2 left. Yeah, we just did one the other day, so we just got to knock that out, and then we'll be looking at releasing. And so we've been really looking into new merch ideas, basically just the funding behind bundles and seeing what we can do about that to get ready for 2021, so that when it does happen and everything does open back up, we can just hit it full force.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Definitely just a positive note. We're going to continue to run, and if the future has it that we may never play another live show, we're at least aware of it, and that we can continue to produce the music that people listen to, because music is not going to die. And as long as we're still in the writing process, giving people what they want, giving them something to look forward to, I mean, hey, can't beat that. May have taken us, I don't know, quite a bit of time to get everything together, but I believe that things happen for a reason. And, you know, I may be biased about it, but maybe COVID happened just so that we could get this out. Who knows? I mean, I've been thinking about that for quite a bit.
The next episode, Dragon Ball Z, will Interpreter finally release something?
No, but this year is going to be a good year, and we're hoping that next year we can hit everybody in the face, and just we've been, as even 5 individuals, coming together and figuring out what is the best for us at this point. And we decided that this is it. We're going to keep going regardless. And that's what people need to do. You need to keep going regardless if you're in a 3-piece band who has maybe 1 view. You should still continue to go, because
You know, there's a good quote about what's going on with what you're saying there, is that no matter what, don't give up, because you never know how close you are.
Exactly.
Tomorrow, like, we've been noticing that our Welcome Home video has climbed up several thousand views within the past few days.
Might be my fault. Sorry, I've been really watching the shit out of it.
That right
I
person
really
might
like
watch
it.
that video, you know? That's what I'm saying, you know. Things, you know, don't never give up, because you never know how close you are. Like I said, the right person might see that video.
Granted, like, you know, like Jeremy was saying, it has taken us a while, but, you know, with the right hard work and dedication, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Next Dragon Ball Z joke.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean,
Absolutely.
you know,
Because that's not what we've been doing during COVID. How, like, new stuff coming.
Oh yeah, yeah. We've been working on our EP in here. That's what we've been doing.
If you need any money, or if you need stuff done, we need money.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Wade's got an
So,
OnlyFans for his butt, by the way.
Yeah. if you checked out Wade's profile picture at all on Facebook,
Tell
Hey,
the story about that, Wade.
No,
You ever-
No, look at my face on Wade's
you ever
ass
seen a
shot.
man sleepwalking?
But yeah, no, we've been. I don't know if they touched base on it, but yeah, we've been doing the EP. We're almost done. Well, I want to say we're 75% done with it, and it's coming out later this year.
Just keep on the lookout.
Just keep on the lookout for that. That's all I can really say at this point,
Oh, yeah.
because I mean, it's not done. So, but it's getting there, and I'm dabbling in the whole
Audio engineering?
mixing and mastering it myself. Like we recorded it here.
We've done everything ourselves.
We're basically DIYing it at this point, because like once again, COVID has fucked everything up, and money is a little tight, if you know what I mean. So like we're gonna cut some costs, and like I've been doing the audio stuff for I don't know, a while, like I want to say almost 5 years now. So like I kind of know what I'm doing. I mean, it sounds good.
I'm not having any complaints. I mean,
it sounds
your
good.
biggest critic is yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of beat myself up, but like they're like, it sounds fucking great, and I'm like, okay.
Okay.
I mean, I'm like,
You guys convinced me. But yeah, no, absolutely. Fucking DIY till you die. You know what I'm saying? Like
I mean, if you can, why not? I mean, like, and
yeah.
if it turns out great, it turns out great. Like that's the same way right now is like as far as like artwork goes. Is like we did like we have a couple of things where like we went out and was like, hey, we like your design. Can we buy this design from you? But for the most part, like the logo, the circle, Like most of that shit, that was all me.
Oh,
So
yeah. It's another thing I was gonna ask about because I feel, I don't know. I'm someone that still like collects CDs and shit, and I love the fucking booklets. I love album artwork, and I feel like a lot of people don't really like, appreciate it as much anymore. So I like to give fucking. I was gonna ask you about the artwork and the logo and all that stuff because I like to give the fucking artists a shout out.
that's me.
There you go.
Yeah, that's, I mean, if you're into that shit, our
Oh,
album art for our EP is pretty fucking gnarly.
Hell.
You'll know when it comes
Yeah.
out.
No, we're not gonna show up. We're not gonna show up.
Okay.
We've got a date set for that already. We got a date set. We can't tell anything. We've got a schedule to keep. Don't rush it. Like, so, but yeah, we got the album art. Album art's out of the way. We did that. That was kind of a collaboration between me and this guy right here. He kind of started the idea, and then I just kind of took it and formed it into what it is now.
Newbie, OG.
I mean, I went to school for commercial graphic art. Like,
shit.
I know,
I didn't even know
like train the eye to lead down the page and all that bull mess, but like, whatever. That's beside the point. But yeah, as far as like all the artwork, for the most part, it's all me. Like, except for like the witch, and the pig butcher, the butcher shirt.
Mhm.
That's not me. The cat shirt's me. Other than that, yeah, everything else is so far has just been kind of in-house. We're at this point, we're just trying to keep it as in-house as possible, if we can. Eventually, we'll be like, hey,
We're gonna hire somebody.
we're gonna go hire someone or go like say I'll record all the shit and then mix it and then we'll send it off to someone who can master it and make it sound better. But for right now, it's like, but we got a bunch of people like that in our neck of the woods, in our community, like Sam Schneider, aka Sammy Slam Dance. He's fucking amazing.
I love you, Sam.
Thomas from Divisive.
Thomas, the drummer for Divisive, he's really good. Robbie Bingham, he's an old friend of mine, an old guitar player from Behold the Slaughter. He's fucking great too. Like he does all the shit. He's the one that got me into it in the first place. So like, he's hooked me up as far as tips and tricks of the trade. So
Man's a legend, though.
yeah. So yeah, but yeah, as far as that, like, yeah, oh, really.
Just a shout out to all of our community.
Yeah, it goes like, yeah, it was.
We help each other. That's one thing I like about our community is, regardless of what you need done, I guarantee you, if you're a metalhead and you're in a band and you need something done that has anything to do with audio engineering, video, art, we got you.
Yeah, like there's thousands. Yeah, there's like hundreds of people that will just like be like, hey man, I got this. Cool.
That's very true. That is very true. And that is something, yeah, because that is something, and that's something I feel like that's even changed in more recent years because, there was a point in time in the 90s where like, if you're not allowed to fucking listen to Slayer and Motley Crue. You know what I mean? It's not allowed.
Yeah.
And I get it. I got it then. But now looking back, it's like, no, now everybody's influenced by everybody and everybody listens to everybody. So and we all just like everything. So.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah.
It's just what music does. You can't there's not one person out there that listens to one thing.
Yeah. It's like, you wouldn't have fucking Corpse Paint if it wasn't for Kiss. Like,
Right.
Let's just go ahead and say that.
Accurate. Very accurate. You probably wouldn't have deathcore without death.
Yeah. I mean, like, or death metal.
Death metal,
Yeah,
yeah.
death metal. I mean,
You wouldn't have deathcore without death metal.
yeah. It's like,
It all has its roots.
yeah, it has its roots.
Absolutely. So speaking of that sort of thing, what are all of your what would you guys list as your like personal biggest influences? Because I feel like you all would have some pretty different tastes.
Man,
Right. Yes,
I'm not going first because my list is extensively long.
Mine's
Tony
quick.
did.
Wait.
Let's
Ready?
go quick and easy. Let's go. Let's go.
Hold on.
All right, let's go easy.
I'm a big
Oh, is it-
prog
all right.
guy.
Say
I
that
love
again?
weird-
He's in Prague. He's a big Prague guy.
Progressive metal.
Yes. Big into Periphery, Monuments, Modern Day Babylon, all that stuff.
So Gent, that's not.
That's technically progressive.
I guess it's
Yes,
progressive.
that's
Whatever.
progressive.
Whatever.
I'm a big prog guy, but my main roots, my number one favorite band will always be Trivium, just because of how much they inspired me from the beginning. Very first metal song, legitimate metal song I ever heard was Gunshot to the Head of Trepidation, and I fell in love with Trivium immediately. Still a giant fan today. The new album is a big tease for me, honestly. It's like Ascendancy 2.0, but they only gave you like 6-7 short tracks, and it really pisses me off. But Matt Heafy's came a long way, and I'm very proud of him. And it's just that band means a lot to me. That's where my roots came from.
That's awesome. Wade, do you want to go ahead?
I was about to say, wait.
Tony Danza and Oceano, man. I'm telling you. Reflections, Tony Danza, Melodic Solution. Yeah, just the math and heavy. That's it.
Hell yeah.
So,
You go ahead.
All right.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm about as long as you are.
I mean, mine's pretty long.
I mean, I guess my original influences would have to go way back. The first time I ever heard Ride the Lightning was great, but I guess I'll start from when I was really playing music, and that was just Metallica in general. I wanted to be a drummer, and I currently play a lot of different instruments and very musically inclined, which I didn't find out till I was in the later years of high school. But from then, it just ranged from everything that I had on my arm. AC/DC, Judas Priest, Metallica, and, didn't really dabble into heavier music until, of course, 2005. And when all of the MySpace days with Suicide Silence and Whitechapel.
We miss you, Tom.
But no, I mean, it just got heavier. And then I really wasn't really into heavy music until this guy came along and was like, hey, you should dabble into this. And then somebody else would come on and you should dabble into this. And it would there's just too many.
Yeah.
There's way too many to name because I like a plethora. There's not one person that sounds like the other. And that's how I like to look at me. I'm not one in particular thing. Do I like breakdowns? Hell yeah. Do I like thrash beats? Fuck yeah. If you don't thrash like Slayer does, then I don't know who you are. But it can even range to stuff like that is new, that is gent, like Monuments and Periphery, because that's more technical. Mm-hmm. Or you can get as technical as Rings of Saturn. I'm not just one in particular one. Roots, Metallica, nowadays there's too many to say.
Man, all right. My list is not as extensive as, it's pretty extensive, but I would say my main influential bands would probably be Ion Dissonance, Between the Buried and Me. I really dig fucking Fit for an Autopsy.
Oh.
Me and Wade got to play a show with those guys, and they fucking killed it live.
It scared the shit out of me. It scared the shit out of me.
In fucking saying that band is so good live. But yeah, and with Tony Danza, I'm a huge math tech nerd. Dillinger Escape Plan, Number 12 Looks Like You. Dude, my genre of music of what I like is very extensive.
Guarantee you can't play anything that I wouldn't take interest in.
Yeah. So yeah,
As far as our drummer goes, he is Miss May I and After the Burial.
Oh yeah.
He's huge on After the Burial.
100%.
Metalcore guy. I think he's big on metal.
He's a big metalcore fan. Yeah, he's a super metalcore fan. But that helps because we're a breakdown oriented band, so that works in our favor.
Absolutely. That new fucking Fit for an Autopsy album. Yeah, I've seen him a couple times live, and that new album is phenomenal.
Dude, Black Sabbath.
Jesus.
Oh man.
So fucking
dude.
Hard.
I listen to that shit, like, so like I do like morning runs before I go to work, and like I just put that, and like I have like a playlist on Spotify, and then like one of those songs will come up, and I just want to run like so hard to that. It's like it's so good.
Speaking of influences, hey Wade, tell them about your crowning achievement when we played with Oceano.
Oh yeah.
Man, it literally was a dream come true. Like I said, you know, and well, no, maybe I haven't said that. You know, in previous projects, I've been wanting to say, hey, let's play with this band or let's do this, you know, and nobody really had that drive that we played with to want to even invest that much into it to make it happen. And with Interpreter, by show 7, I'm sharing the stage with my favorite band, Oceano. And we played the show. I'm standing there. I was just telling this story earlier, actually, to one of my coworkers. I was standing there mid-stage, like the stage is right here at my stomach, looking up at him, just screaming all the lyrics. He stops in one of the songs and goes, I have strong confidence that you know the rest of the words to this song, and slaps the microphone in my hand. I got to get up on stage and lead my fucking favorite band, and I blacked out.
Yeah.
Just took off.
I was front row center when this happened, and I was like, "Oh my God, he just lived his fucking dream."
This man was almost in tears, bro. When he came up to me and told me, this man was almost in tears, bro.
Oh,
After the show, I went up to Adam and I said, man, you have no idea what it meant to me tonight to be able to do that. He said, don't worry, it's going to happen again. And with that, I've held on to that so strong. And I want to say that that's one of the things that really pushed me. He has went as far as saying that he is ready to collaborate with us as far as getting on one of our songs. We've been sending emails back and forth, and he's just waiting for us to hit him up with the right one.
that's so sick, dude. Holy shit. What a story. Like that. I feel like, have you ever seen Old School?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you felt like Will Ferrell after the debate. Just like, what happened?
Give up more blue.
Fuck yeah. Awesome, man. That's an amazing story, dude. I can't even fucking imagine what that would have been like. That's awesome. That's a great, and the fact that you've actually been able to keep in touch, who wants to collaborate. Oh my God, dude. That's got to be, yeah. That is enough to keep you fucking going. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Like through anything.
I talked about it in high school.
Hey, is that the same show with Scumfuck?
Yes.
Dickie Allen?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So we also got Dickie Allen in the works too.
Yes,
Oh.
Dickie, we actually talked with Dickie, and they were working out some kind of technical issue, and he sat down on the stage, just sat down, and I was like, yo, Dickie, and he was like, what's up? And I was like, after you get through with the set, I'd like to talk to you about maybe featuring. He was like, yeah, man. And so he was actually at the merch table, and actually went out of his way. A fan was talking to him. He's like, hang on one second, I'm gonna take care of this. And stepped aside and was like, what's up? And I was like, yeah, dude, you know, like I know you probably got to catch a little bit of the set. And he's like, yeah, I heard it. I dig it. And I was like, well, how would you feel about like maybe featuring? He's like, yeah, hit me up, and we'll work on something. And I was cool. So hopefully that actually blossoms. I hit him up, so we're just waiting to hear back.
Gotta write a heavy ass fucking song for that.
He gave me his email and everything, and I always talked about doing things like this in school, with friends that actually shared the same interest with bands, and they were just like, no fucking way, whatever. Well, tell me why now I get video calls being like, dude, you're living the fucking dream right now. I was like, if you're gonna with enough passion, dude, like anything's possible, and you just got to keep pushing with it, and eventually it'll manifest.
Fuck yeah, dude. Okay, well, you obviously just told your side of half of this question. I wanted to ask, though, in terms of, I always like to ask people this. In terms of playing shows as a band or going to shows as a fan, favorite, craziest experience? You got any great ones?
Hey,
I'll say
that was mine.
I already know.
I'll say one, because this was the most metal shit I've ever fucking seen. I've never seen Slayer live, and the first time I saw Slayer live is the best show I've ever been to.
Slayer, Lamb of God.
It was Behemoth, Lamb of God, and Slayer.
Last year, right?
2 years ago.
I saw that tour. Yeah.
So Storm and I are in the pit. We're enjoying Behemoth. I get in a few times. He gets knocked in the face during Lamb of God. Yeah. Well, Slayer comes on. I told him I'm not going to stop. So I'm in the pit running around, and I finally stop. And as immediately as I stop, I see this dude. He's weighing about maybe 250, 6 foot tall. He's huge. He hits the fucking ground. His teeth come out. He pulls the teeth up off the ground, puts it in his pocket, and keeps going. And I said, that is a fucking dedicated fan. Never will I ever see anything most metal in my entire life other than that. Best show ever.
Most metal
Best
moment. Holy shit.
Dude, yeah, it's a fucking.
Oh God, dude. We were already
Whoa.
drunk. We were drunk, and then I ended
No,
up
we
getting
got
sober because dude kept headbutting me in the pit. Don't know why. He just was at the edge of the pit headbutting people. People kept going, and by the time I got home, I was sober. Best show ever.
Man, I don't know. Like we've played some pretty good shows.
Yeah.
Nothing will ever.
Let's not forget about what happened with Mr. Right ankle here.
Oh God. So this guy, we're at a local show. I'll consider it a local show because these guys are these guys are our band buddies, or our band brothers. You should check out Autumn Lies Buried. And this guy, he's up there. He's having a good time, and this
Fireball happened.
Yeah, fireball did happen.
broke his ankle.
I snapped my fibula in a mosh pit.
Oh, because fucking
Caleb pushed me.
Fucking Caleb is a fucking
He's a big dude.
swole big black dude with dreadlocks around with a microphone. He gives no fucks, and he will just
Mow you.
he will check you real quick. But so like fucking Storm got checked, and the next thing I know, Storm's on the ground. We're all like, "Oh, okay, it's cool." And he gets up and he starts fucking hobbling over, and we're like, "Oh, that's not good."
Yeah. I didn't even know I broke it until 3 days later when I went.
Yeah, 3 days later we went to the doctor. He's like, "This shit still hurts, bro." And I'm like, "You probably should go to the ER."
And we went up there, and the nurse walked in. She's like, "Well, you broke it." I'm like, "Dang it."
God damn it.
We've had some pretty good times.
Oh yeah, even
The house show.
Oh,
The house show where what breakdown was it? I think it was the display breakdown. That was the Dirt Mound breakdown. Yeah. So I had already been drunk. I've already been drinking already way before the show even started, and we start playing our set. You know, everybody's headbanging. Everybody's like having a good time. There's even a mosh pit going on. It's a little bitty ass basement. We go up to our Dirt Mound breakdown, and I give the biggest fucking windmill I possibly can. Then I step in somebody's spilt beer, and I slip, and I hit the floor, and I keep playing.
Was that during?
that was the
It wasn't beer.
That was that baby show.
I remember that.
Yeah, I slip and hit the floor.
Because I almost did the same thing.
It
I
wasn't
slip and hit the
beer.
floor, and I keep playing. And
Like
after the show, everybody was like,
he was like a
"Bro."
turtle. He was like the turtle that couldn't get
Yeah.
back up. He's just like this.
a lot of like 4 or 5 people have walked up to me. He's like, "Hey man, did you do that on purpose?" I was like, "Yeah."
Yep.
Hey,
Go.
Hey, remember?
I did that shit on purpose.
Wait, you said it wasn't beer.
It wasn't beer. It was the water that
water.
I had shot near Warmonger.
Yeah, it was water because this asshole likes to shoot water at people.
Oh, it was your water.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
And I know what song he does it to. It does it at fucking Warmonger.
Oh yeah, that was Warmonger,
Yeah, you like to spray water on the crowd.
which is a
Weird.
good dude. It looks great. If you actually go on our Facebook
No, it doesn't. We
page,
got
No,
COVID going on.
No,
man.
No, it's on our Instagram.
well, I mean, I was about to say, Rachel from Rachel Craig Media got a shot of it
Oh,
during
yeah.
the Oceano show.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
right.
there is a shot of him spewing the water all over the crowd. And
And the Austin Metal Podcast guys, they got that too. And then Wade
Yeah.
threw his fucking mic off the stage.
oh,
Dude, I definitely did. Bro, there was so much adrenaline running through me. I screamed at you, fuck! But I
And you made it back on
count one.
stage in time.
Damn.
Yeah,
Hell
there's
yeah.
some crazy ass times, but always good times though.
oh, it's always
Yeah.
good, dude. I don't think so far.
There's never been a bad time.
What
There's
about
never-
Aaron's fuck up at the Oceano show?
Pizza when you
Dude,
first like-
he fell on his head.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, when Aaron busted his fucking skull open almost.
Nah, he
Fuck
just
yeah, he stage dived and then it went boom, blow, pow.
Wait, the drummer stage dove?
He stage dove during Scumfuck, and so I guess somebody flipped him, and he fucking landed on his head, bro. That scared the shit out of me, honestly, because he was
he was out and then just
Out.
came back to life and then went back out. And I'm like, oh well, you know, he needs to chill.
He's
for a
like,
moment.
he comes back. He's like, "Where's my beer?"
This man, so a double A man, needs a Budweiser. He needs a Budweiser endorsement. Budweiser, if you see this, endorse this man because he drinks so much Budweiser.
He's got a fucking hat. Like,
He's got a hat,
sandals, fucking shorts, shirts.
dude, that motherfucker is all about the fucking butthead.
he is a.
I told him, I said, "Dude, fuck a beer. You need water."
Oh, goodness.
It's good times though. man.
Definitely
Fuck
good
yeah.
times.
That is amazing. Have you guys ever played a show in Michigan?
No.
Ooh.
No, I mean,
We've been invited.
we've been invited to play a show in Michigan because I'm pretty sure the tours that we had to.
It was supposed to go through Michigan with war.
Fucking Michigan.
Yeah, plenty of those tour offers that we had to turn down definitely had Michigan in it.
Ohio.
Because it was more of the fucking
Pennsylvania, Michigan, Ohio.
I don't know.
Yeah, our
Whatever.
first show was gonna be in Maine, and then we would do this shit, and then come down, and then come back up, down,
Yeah.
back up, and then back to Tennessee.
But like we decided to not be on the shit list of the
Call out culture.
cancel culture. People being like, "Fuck you guys! You're playing shows. You're part of the problem." And like, yeah, no, I don't want none of that shit. So like, we all came together and into agreement was like, we're just gonna not do shows.
I mean, it all got shut down anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, but there's still, but I mean, as far as because like we had a tour offer that was supposed to happen next month,
Yeah,
and I'm
next
pretty
month.
sure it's still happening. I haven't heard anything about it, but like as far as that, because Keith is the one that keeps hitting us up. He's like, "Hey, I got this offer for this."
He's our booking agent.
Yeah, so he's helping us out with that. So like, and he'd be like, "Hey, I got this tour," and we're like, "Man, we're just gonna not." Like, and we took his professional opinion too, because we took his opinion in mind when we decided not to play shows. We were like, "Hey, man, I don't think we're gonna do shows for the rest of this year because we just don't want to be black. We don't want to get blacklisted for like because there's some bands out there. Because I know the drummer for Traders, he was like, if you're playing shows right now, consider yourself blacklisted from ever playing a show with us." He posted it. I've seen it. It's on Facebook. Go check it out. But like, I mean, I agree with him. I wholeheartedly agree with him. It's like if you're out there playing shows right now, trying to get a crowd together, I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut because I'll probably get myself in trouble. But like,
It's not the move, and it's not something. I mean, there are certain things, you see these. I follow I love comedy. I follow a lot of comedians. Some of them are doing these like drive-in movie theater things.
That's cool.
Exactly. It seems to work. It seems to be all right, but it not like the whole fucking point of a metal show is to be super close to each other and fuck shit up. And so it's just, it would never work. It would just never work.
It would never work. I mean, and I just like, I look at bands that are like, hey, we're playing a show next Saturday. And I'm like, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
We support everybody and what they do.
Yeah.
But as far as for us, shows is not our main focus right now. Our main focus right now is seeing what we can do while we're not doing that. Because when that happens and everybody's like, okay, we're gonna pull it, we're gonna have the green light on this, this show, see how it works. And while we're sitting back watching the so-called big people go try to play a show and get the green light, then we can start being like, okay, we should maybe set up something. But that's not even, 22. I've been hearing a lot of rumors that 2021 isn't even going to have shows.
2021, if it is going to happen, it's going to be late 2021.
Yeah, that's what I've heard as well.
Yeah, Rock Rebels is already booked it for like what, October 2021, something like that.
Yeah, October 2021. But
whatever that Megadeth Trivium and Lamb of God show is, that's October 2021.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But as far as like us playing shows, we took advantage of that, and we were like, hey, let's just crack down and get this EP out.
Work on ourselves, get everything ready for when that happens. So that way that, hey, we got everything. We got all our ducks in a row. We got plenty of merch for people. We want to give you the experience of Interpreter when that time comes. And hell, not being a negative Nancy, but if it never comes, we still have the opportunity to get music out to people so that they can still enjoy us. Spotify is really big on it. People are doing live streams, which could be a possibility.
Yeah. So, have you considered that at all?
Yeah, we were actually thinking about doing, for our EP release, we were actually thinking about doing a live.
I don't know about that.
I'm getting to that.
Okay.
Getting to that. We were going to do a live stream Facebook thing, but I think we're going to venture away from that now because Facebook now is cracking down on live stream performances. I'm not going to get into it. It's a fuck. I see your face. I agree with you. Wholeheartedly agree with you.
Fan pages are
nobody's like, I don't understand it either because nobody's making money. No one's charging admissions for this shit. Like it's like, and it's mainly, and what it happened is it's just mainly DJs right now that are doing the whole live stream shit. And I don't know how they're working that, but like, I figured that just like it came up on Facebook's stupid little algorithm they had. They're like, oh, there's a lot of live stream going on. And they're cracking down on it now because they're apparently going to delete band accounts.
Yeah.
You're going to get
all this. You're going to get all this shit. And like, I'm just like, nobody's making a profit off of it.
I think we should stream via Twitch, dude.
Twitch is a good opportunity.
So now I think we're either going to do either like Instagram.
We could do YouTube.
Instagram, YouTube, something else, some other platform that's not Facebook to do our live stream release show. To promote our EP. That was our thought that we came up with. They're like, hey, why don't we just do a live stream show and be like, hey, here's the music that's on the EP. We're gonna play it for you. Here you go.
So as far as any other questions that you have for us?
Oh yeah.
You need to go. You rushing out there, Wade?
No, definitely not.
So yeah, with the live stream, that would be that'd be sweet, man. That'd be and just promote the hell out of it on Facebook and do it on like the Twitch and YouTube and stuff. Why not do it on both?
We could do it on both. He has a Twitch account. We have a YouTube channel. I don't see why we couldn't.
I have everything to do it.
Because that was my first thought was like, hey, let's do a fucking live stream thing on Facebook because everybody's doing it. Makes sense. Then that whole thing happened, and I was like, well, there goes that.
See, I didn't even know anything about that.
No, that's a big thing right now. That's a huge.
That's fucking stupid. What do you expect us to do? See the algorithms with everything. I've been doing a lot of research into marketing, and the algorithms with Facebook is pretty much rigged unless you're like, you know what you're going for. The same with YouTube. Like, you know, all these algorithms are set up to where, you know, you can win, but you have to have the right people to see you.
It's like Las Vegas.
It's a 50 show.
It's fucking rigged.
Absolutely. And yeah, it is really annoying. You're absolutely right about that. And yeah, I couldn't believe that when I saw that story today. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, this is,
Dude, it's been a thing for a couple days. Like,
oh, has it?
It's been a trending thing for a couple days. It started maybe 2 or 3 days ago, but it's now being blown up because everybody that does music that's how they're getting themselves out there right now, because they can't play shows. So like, why is a popular thing like Facebook condemning that?
Right. And for fucking metalheads, going to shows is pretty much our form of therapy in a world.
Exactly.
In a world where we can't, and all we have are these virtual shows where we can just fucking destroy our living rooms. It's at least something.
Me and Storm, you heard about Metallica. They were going to do a live stream.
It was the drive-in thing.
Yeah, exactly. It was considered a live stream.
No, they
were
not live.
It wasn't live stream.
No, they pre-recorded
the
that
fact
shit.
that I was like, you know what? I can watch Metallica, one of their best performances on YouTube, other than wasting the money to go to a drive-in and not get the experience.
$115 a card.
No, because they
Six people maximum.
They definitely pre-recorded that.
I agree as far as with shows being a therapy, because you have people that you see at shows that you're like, what's up, dude? You get in the pit, you punch each other a little bit. It's okay. You leave happy. You leave with some merch, and you may have found a new metal band you like.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
and you wake up with whiplash in the morning from headbanging.
That's it.
Especially when you have long hair.
Definitely have woken up with a neck that cannot move before. That's happened.
No.
So I guess another thing, since you're in the process of writing your new EP right now, what is that process like for you guys? How does the writing process work for Interpreter?
So basically, we just all really get together in a room, and Ryan will start with a riff, or maybe Storm will start with a riff, and Aaron just gets a feel for it, and then we kind of just pull energy from each other, and next thing you know, it starts manifesting into something that actually sounds good. And then if we like it enough when we're playing it, we'll be like, let's rerun that. And then once we actually start getting a general idea of what it is that we're doing, we'll actually stop, and then we'll pick it apart and do it section by section on what it is we're going to do. And the next thing you know, it takes maybe 1 to 2 practices, and we've got a full song, and we lay it down. Though we'll either get an iPhone or some kind of audio record.
Well, now we just, because like considering like the studio and the practice space are one and the same, we just kind of like plug in a microphone or somewhere and just kind of go
hook it all up and press record.
I mean, we just hook it all up and just like press record, and we just run through it and be like, and then we will listen to it and then pick it apart and be like, all right, let's try doing this, and then we'll go back and then we'll run it again and just keep, and we'll just do like
keep repeating the process.
Yeah, just keep let's basically just like writing rough demos and then just like picking it apart, going, let's change this part, let's put this part here, let's do this, let's cut this part. But I mean, just like any other band that writes music. I mean, but like, yeah, like what Wade says, like it starts off with a riff and then it just kind of
builds off the energy,
and it just takes off after that.
So what happens when you have a band with good chemistry, though?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and the chemistry in this band is fucking amazing, because like it's just. One person will write a riff and I'll go, man, I dig that groove, and then I'll learn what he's playing, and I'll be like, hey, I have this riff that might work with that riff, and then I'll fucking play that riff after that one, and then we'll just kind of meld itself into a new Interpreter song. So I mean, that's kind of how man, we got I mean, that's kind of how most of the songs work out. Like we got one song that's super heavy.
Super heavy.
I mean, yeah, it's super heavy, and that kind of came out that way, and like it started off with me just kind of like sitting in my house and just like working on riffs and like programming drums to it, and then I brought it to everybody, and they were like, "Cool."
Hold up, bro.
And they were like, "Hold up," and then we just kind of picked it apart, and we're like, "Hey, let's change this part. Let's change this part. Hey, let's make this like this." And it's like, I love it. The writing process for me in a band is like the reason why I'm in a fucking band. Like that right there alone is the main reason why I like striving to challenge myself to do better, be better, sound better.
That's another good thing being a musician, though, is the fact that when you get bored of like somebody else's music, you can make your own fucking music.
Yeah, it's like exactly, and it's like, what's the point of being in a band if you're not going to challenge yourself to the next level of being like, hey, we can make we're this, but we could be this.
But we do have the most beautiful thing about the writing process is everybody's say-so is taken into account. Like, hey, I got an idea. All right, well, let's hear it. We always give that creative freedom of writing like an option, you know. Hey, let's try it out. If it doesn't work, then it's, you know, we'll just move on.
Yeah, we'll save it for another song.
That's one thing.
Another
I've had a problem with multiple bands that I've been in. It's just you'll throw the idea out there, and your opinion is basically like fucked off.
Yeah. Like,
this band, every last member, when they open their mouth, everybody fucking pays attention.
Yeah.
And
that's
whether the opinion is, you know, considered, you know, we talk about it.
Once again, you vote.
Yeah.
We don't mind telling you that it sucks either.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other cool thing is everybody that comes into this room is real. Like they 100% be like, hey, I don't dig that, or whatever. It's like, hey, that probably doesn't fit for this.
It sucks. Try again.
Yeah.
Get good.
Get good.
Don't
good.
suck.
Don't suck. Get good.
I guess that would be our motto. Don't suck.
Get good. Yeah. Yeah. Just like, and that's the cool thing is like we push each other to be like, hey, like, do this, try this. Like when we were tracking his bass parts for the EP, like I was like, hey man, like you're doing it like this, but if you try it like this, I feel like it would sound better. And he took my opinion in consideration. We tried it, and he liked it, and it worked. So I mean, like, and it's the same thing with like everybody in here. It's like, hey, I'm like, hey, try this, or they're like, hey, try this. I'm like, all right, cool.
For the example of where you were trying to remember your Doctor solo.
Yeah, like there was a solo that I wrote for one of the songs on the EP, and then I totally forgot how I played it. And then he ended up
writing the solo.
And then he ended up taking what I wrote and made it the solo for the song. So like, there's that. Like, so.
Also, to touch on what he said, I'm a drummer at heart. I've been playing drums for 5 to 10 years.
I started playing drums too.
And the fact that I was able, you know, my buddy here, he was like, you should try to play bass, you know, or at least until they fire the drummer. And I'm like,
hey, don't tell on me like that. Don't tell on me like that.
Okay. And I was like, okay, because, you know, I played guitar in high school. What's different between guitar and bass? And I actually started to understand that playing bass for a metal band that tunes to drop E is a lot harder than you think it is. I will put up anybody who plays in a down-tempo band that is in E or even remotely to drop E. You can't be using a real bass unless it's the right scale length and set up that way. And I'll fight anybody who says it because I've put in the work.
He's done his research.
I've put in the work.
He has done his research.
I've put in the knowledge.
We have heard about it.
I take that as a very prideful thing because
I mean, and that's another thing that I enjoy about this band is people take pride in their instrument. They take pride into like what they're putting into this band. Like this guy has done his research into making his tone and the way he wants his bass to be played and how he's playing bass fit and work for him in this band, and I love it. It's fucking great.
That's phenomenal.
You got
That's
made a
phenomenal.
blush.
I'm being honest. Like that's the one. I mean, like, because like this dude is like I've heard it. Like I've heard it. He's like I can't figure it out, and I'm like I gotta get this and I gotta get this, and I'm like, well, do it, man. Like you know what you gotta do. Like go do it. Like
and I did.
And he did. So
I did. I did. Unfortunately, I had to possibly ruin my instrument just to fulfill what I want for this.
He learned guitar modding from me.
Yeah. So like,
But it helps. Dude, when you hear this new EP, people are just so
it's gonna be thick.
It's gonna be
super thick.
I hope
thick boy.
everybody
Thick 'em.
is satisfied.
It's gonna be dad bod thick, man. Like,
Old
Yeah.
Tickum.
Still my joke.
well, I mean, I'm just interpreting your joke. Interpreting.
Get out of here.
I
Dad jokes.
personally cannot wait for that.
By the way, we call him Dad because he does literally everything for us.
Yeah.
So Ryan is the dad of the band.
That's accurate.
Real. No, that's I mean, you know, there's no you know, this is creating art. There's no right way to do it, but I feel like your approach is the rightest way, I guess, in my opinion, because when you have that sort of chemistry and that sort of vibe within the band, that sort of openness, you are essentially like now you're in a band with 5 or 4 other producers essentially that can
Yeah. Very
100%
tinker with your
accurate.
toys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's fucking awesome. I love that you guys do it that way.
I mean, I get shit from this guy from when I'm like mixing, and he's like, I don't like the way the snare sounds. I'm like, who doesn't like the way the snare sounds? It's like the fucking epitome of like audio 101 in metal. It's like the snare sounds like shit.
This is accurate.
So like, I mean, and it's great because like most of us, like I was a drummer before I was a guitar player, and he's a drummer. So like that shit like that. I take his opinion in consideration. I'm like, all right, the snare drum does sound like shit.
I think one or maybe all of us in this band was in high school band at once.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Lead snare drummer, section leader. I am proud.
I was the littlest dude with the biggest bass.
I felt like I was the littlest dude with the biggest bass drum.
Dude, my bass, dude, that thing was
Did you have the bass 5?
fucking
Oh
massive.
yeah, you had
dude.
bass 5.
We lost him.
Well,
No, he's still there. He's still there. He just put the phone down for a second.
Oh, okay. I thought it was you, my guy.
I was like, oh, we lost him. No, it was Wade. Where'd Wade go?
He's probably doing work things.
Oh, he is at work.
Oh,
Yes.
Jesus, really?
Yeah. Hey, that shows you dedication.
Yeah,
He's
right.
willing to take a minute to answer questions for you. Yes.
That's insane. I guess then yeah, I do just have a couple more things I wanted to get to real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, I do like to sadly I do like to ask what's your for all of you, what's your favorite kind of like gear? What kind of instruments do you like? Amps, microphones?
So,
You're asking a broad question. Calm down. Everybody's about to go shit
for
fucking wild.
marketing purposes, I will say that currently,
I like this guitar. It's a Schecter 8-string. It's fucking great. I've had it since 2015. Dude, this thing is a fucking beast. I love it.
I love Schects.
Schecter, like, dude, my go-to, like, Schecter is by far. I like Schecter. I mean, and then like as far as like other gear and stuff, like we use Line 6 products.
Line 6 all day.
I mean, we got Line 6. Me and him both use the Pod HD Pros, and he's got the Helix. I mean, and then Wade, we recorded the EP using a Kemper because Wade bought a Kemper.
So the good thing about that, I'm going to touch on that just a little bit. We decided as a band that when we record, we will use the Kemper product, but when we play live, you're going to get the rawest of the raw. You're going to get our sound.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of people will just try to use the same thing. And I thought about it, and I was like, hey, you know, if we did record through a Kemper, use the best quality product as far as listening, but then when we're live, that's us.
I mean, well, that and the fucking Kemper costs way too much.
We are eventually going to upgrade to Axe Effects for live.
We are eventually going to either Axe Effects or Kemper eventually. Whichever comes first. But
I've stuck around with Helix. I've invested in.
But I mean, like, Line 6 products, there's nothing wrong with them. I mean, the dude from Buried Alive, he uses Line 6 products, and he makes this shit sound so good, man. It's insane.
Oh yeah. No, they're my cousin actually, like the co-founder of this podcast. He him and I grew up playing guitar together, and he got a Line 6 way back in the day. This was probably like somewhere between 2005 and 8. And
the
Spider, bro. Spider 2.
Yeah.
Spider 2.
Yeah, the one that where I'll never forget, on the box it says "loud enough to scare away those pesky chupacabras."
Yeah.
And then maximum gain on the Insane channel.
Yeah. The Insane channel was the best channel.
Yeah, you got your shit right when you have an insane fucking channel. Like, yeah, no, but like
I've been, as far as like, I guess, gear, I have never went wrong with Dark Glass. Dark Glass is possibly the best pedal or processing unit that you could use for bass.
Yeah, for bass.
It has the grit, it has the clarity. Like, I could put that pedal up against any fuzz pedal, and you could do anything with the B7K2. And even in the Helix that I use, there is a pedal called the Obsidian, like 5 or something, and it's an imitation of the Dark Glass pedal. So that, and then as far as bass, I'm currently using the SRS 505 Ibanez. Unfortunately, I'm looking to upgrade because, like I said before, the scale length is definitely not long enough. But it has been that in Wade's awesome 8x10 carving cab.
Oh yeah.
That cab is
This cab is no joke.
Carbon.
Make them thighs quake, you know what I'm saying?
There we go.
Like fun of. Hey, you do. No, you don't.
I mean, Storm, you're running Schecter as well.
Yeah,
Yes,
he's running Schecter.
I can confirm right here, right now. The Schecter Reaper 7, with it being a multi-scale on some really good NYXL D'Addario strings, can handle drop E, with it being a 7-string.
Yeah, it's
It can handle
Really,
it
man,
all
that shit's
day.
wild.
That guitar is by far been my favorite out of the bunch.
That's awesome. Hell yeah.
We're
Wade,
talking about a guy who used to change guitars like he changed shoes.
I've had to actually. I was on Facebook this morning, and exactly a year ago today, I posted my unboxing video of the Reaper 7.
That's awesome.
1 year ago. That is the longest I've ever kept a guitar. They're usually like gone. I'll get one. I'll hang out with it for a little bit. Gone. New one. Hang out with it. Kind of like the way Robbie does it. Robbie gets a new guitar every time you blink. He's gone through Ibanez. He's gone through Kiesels. He's gone through everything. He's just like, well, I don't like this one. Here's a stupid cheap price, which is why I really appreciate the Jackson he had. He had a Soloist 7 that he sold me with a kill switch. That guitar is badass.
Ooh.
But unfortunately, during our Fish Fest show,
He broke the fuck out of it.
I broke the neck getting into it. You know how guitar players do that thing where they push on the body and they push down the neck to where they can go bow.
You
Yep.
pushed it a little too hard.
I did that and cracked the neck. That guitar died a brutal fucking death, bro. Let me tell you.
And unfortunately, somebody bought it off the wall.
I sold it to the biggest scam artist in the entire music industry.
Guitar
Center. And they didn't notice the broken neck, so I made $300 off of that thing.
Problem solved.
The guy that was actually sitting at the repair thing, he was looking at it like, "Looks pretty good." And I was like,
Okay,
right,
take.
take it, please. Just get it away from me. And he was like, "Yeah, we'll give you $300 for that." And I'm like, "Sweet."
I guess to touch on Aaron. So Aaron, we've been dabbling a little bit with him because he's been trying to find a nice, just dark but bright sound as far as his drum set completely.
Of course, we're gonna let the drummer talk about the drummer.
Currently, he plays a Gretsch set. It is a 3-piece.
4-piece.
It's a 4-piece. So, is it 4-piece?
He's got 3 toms and a snare.
Okay, so it's 4-piece.
No, it's 2 times.
2 toms and a snare.
Yeah.
And a bass.
It is a 4-piece.
Yes.
It's a 4-piece, but yes, he's currently playing with a 4-piece Gretsch set. The snare is also a Gretsch snare, and he's working around with Meinl, the Dark Classic series, and it actually made this record or EP sound fucking great. I'm
I
not
like Aaron's numbers. They sound really good.
Yeah.
fantastic.
But you're a godly ride over there, Mr. Ring for Days.
It's called I Got It Out of a Dumpster, and
Hold
I've
on.
had it for 5 years.
Hold on.
Don't show my gear. Not
I'm
mine.
showing.
Oh yeah, this
Look at
thing,
this motherfucker.
This thing is a fucking beast. This thing has ring for days.
Hell,
This thing rings for days.
If you don't
Don't
choke
get
it, you're
cut
going to
by
listen to it for a week.
You get tetanus.
I got my socks wet.
I'm just. The thing is I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, it doesn't even.
I don't even know what it is.
It doesn't have any. It doesn't have any.
It's so
indication
old
what it is.
that the logo has rubbed off of it. My uncle who gave it to me was like, "Hey, I found it out of a dumpster, and yeah, here it is." And I'm like, "Well, what is it?" And he's like, "I don't know." And I'm like, he swears it's a Peisty, and it possibly could be. But to tell you the truth, unless you had somebody who appraised it and could look up the numbers on the symbol, I couldn't tell you what it is.
Yeah.
But wait, what about you, Wade, Mr. Sure?
Sure, SM7B.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I wanted to ask Wade, do you have a preference in a live / or recording of a microphone to use?
Microphone is definitely going to be the SM7B. You can't get any better than that. I noticed that you're actually using one yourself. Yeah, I was about to point that out. But you can't really get any better. As far as live performance, I like to do the wireless SM58.
Yep. I got one of those right here too.
This
Yeah,
one right here.
There you go.
This one
man,
here.
I tell you, when I say I chucked the shit out of that thing in Austin, Texas, I did, and it's still just as beautiful as it was before I threw it.
Oh, God,
I will link you the video if you want to see him throwing the mic,
Oh.
jumping a good 6 feet off of a 6-foot-high stage, running around the venue, and coming back up there, and then
Right
laying
back on
right
one.
the beat of the screen.
I would love to see that.
We'll link that to you.
We'll give you a link to that.
Let's give them a shout out real quick. Hold up. These guys right here. ATX Metal Podcast.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, give them a shout out.
They're out of where are they from?
Austin.
Austin, Texas.
Yep.
Another metal podcast. Fuck yeah. I look for those constantly because
Yeah, man, there you go.
And the good thing about those guys is when we showed up, you know, we're kind of we already loaded in and we're just kind of peeping at the venue, and you know, me and Storm walk up to
Come
this
and
guy
take it live is a gorgeous venue, dude.
and
Oh my
yeah,
God.
come and take me live. Come and take it live. That's what
Yeah,
it was.
something like that.
And the guy was standing up there with cameras and, you know, small microphones. And we were like, "So what are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I'm doing a podcast." And I was like, "Oh, so do we have to pay for this?" And he's like, "No, I just do it for the venue." And he literally goes there and just shoots shows and posts them on Facebook. Like it's just, you know, something to see. And
He also has a YouTube channel.
It's funny though.
ATX Metal Podcast.
It's funny though because the songs that people are more intrigued to hear, you won't get to hear those in that video. You'll only get to hear those songs
My guy.
when our EP releases.
The audio died. Yeah, because the audio cut out. Yeah, I remember
Yeah, you
that.
get about half the show, and it's
It's
just
not half the show. You get
you get about a quarter. You get about half the show when he.
As soon as the heavy hitters come in, it's
At the breakdown of
You
Dirt
live-
Mountain.
you missed like the last 2 songs.
Yeah. Unfortunately, those are the 2 new songs.
The metal gods were just like the internet is not ready for this heavy shit yet.
I guess not, man. Like, because they live streamed.
It was a live stream, and you could see us jamming, doing what we're supposed to do, but just the sound was
There's no audio.
no audio.
Right.
It's like one of them silent discos where they're just like.
Oh yeah.
what is he doing? I don't know. My neck. Can I suck my dick yet?
I knew at some point in this podcast that Wade was going to make a dick joke.
Jesus.
They're always welcome. Fuck guys, this has been outstanding. I do have I have one one last thing I always like to wrap up. I got one last thing I always like to wrap up with. And it's kind of a question that doesn't really first question tonight that it doesn't have to do with music or metal. But one kind of like side interest that I have that I always like to ask new people that I get to meet. I'm really into like paranormal shit.
Yes.
Our practice spot's haunted, we think.
It's
Oh,
diff- yeah. Oh yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Pretty
have
sure
any of you, so yeah, you just said you think the practice space. I was gonna say the
Yeah,
question
yeah.
is, have any of you ever had any experiences you would describe as paranormal in any way?
Yes.
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 Go.
I,
There's the 3 of us. Right?
Yes, it
Yeah,
was the
all
3
right,
of us.
All right, there's the 3 of us. We were sitting here chilling in this room. So like where we practice is like a shed outside of my house. It's like it used to be a woodwork shop. But like we morphed into our practice space. But like there was like what was the fucking handsaws chilling on the outside of the door, and there's like concrete. The floor is concrete. So like we were all sitting here, and all of a sudden you hear, and I shit you not, this handsaw moved from the concrete slab that's on the outside into the grass, and we were like, what the fuck? Like, there was nothing around. There was
The wind was not blowing.
Wind wasn't blowing, and that shit, dude. We were all like, the fuck was that sound?
We went and investigated,
And
and
we
we was like, the saw moved.
I'm pretty sure, because I was like, that saw was there when we started. That saw is over there now. And yeah. And I mean, yes, I've had some paranormal other than that, but like,
That was pretty intense because we're just sitting here shooting the shit, and all of a sudden you hear that.
you hear like
It was not like, kind of like, oh, you thought you heard something. No, this was like
scrape, like a
something scrape. And
across.
it happened once. We stopped. Then we proceeded to be like, did you hear that? And then it happened again.
Yeah, I did it twice.
And then we investigated. I come to the conclusion the saw is the law. So
Yeah.
Saw's the law.
Because it was like a short.
Take
it
that,
was a
Billy Bo.
short, it was a short drag and then a long drag, and it was we were just like,
Wait, make Billy Bo's trying to tell us something.
I mean, like, but it was fucking, I don't know, but like that was the experience in this room.
man, for me, I was 20 years old. And I shit you not, I was upstairs in my mom's house, and I woke up, and my arm was being held, legit held, to where when I got up, I was pulling my arm and it was not moving. I can't make this up, but after that happened, I slept in my mom's floor in her bedroom for at least 2 weeks. It fucked me up.
Yeah. I've actually never heard of anything like that before. That's fucking wild.
Yeah, and like I looked at my arm and it was just red. All well, of course I didn't have tattoos at the time, but it was just red all right here, and I'll never forget it. It's
Did anything else ever happen in that house?
in the house per se. Yes, there would be times where my little sister would go into her room and then start pointing at stuff and saying she doesn't want to go in her room. We could never figure it out as to what it was, but it's something has always followed my family. My mom, when I was in middle school, this was just like a couple years before that actually took place. She was like going to her bedroom and a hat was actually floating. And I literally heard her scream and throw something, and we was like, what in the fuck was that? And she come running out of the bedroom, and I guess, I don't know, it's been a wild ride growing up, especially with things like that. And I don't know. I guess I'm glad I'm out of there, you know.
Fair enough. No, this actually, real quick, this is something I forgot to touch on earlier. Wade, do you write a lot of the lyrics for the band?
I write all the lyrics.
All the lyrics for the band. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And have you ever considered using any experiences like that as an influence for some lyrics?
Well, as far as I like to watch a lot of horror movies,
Yeah.
and what I'll do is I'll take some of those scenarios and utilize them to create stories. Like there was a time where I was on a Hannibal Lecter kick, and I used situations where like tying people to beds, and you know, it says there's this one thing that, well, basically it just talks about the face being removed.
Okay.
And then it went to a Leatherface kind of deal of wearing it.
Okay.
As far as any recent lyrics, I've been using more of personal experiences and situations that I've been in, and then a friend of ours, which is actually with one of the new songs. We're not gonna touch on it. You gotta wait.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
But yeah, be on the lookout, because it's definitely some good stuff. I will say that every one of our lyrics, as far as what's on this EP, is all positive and motivational, as far as pushing past the negativity that's in your life and knowing that you have the power of overcoming anything that stands in your way, and you really have full control over what you surround yourself with and who you become, because I have a strong saying of who you become is what you surround yourself with.
Hell yeah, man. I love that thematic element that seems to be emerging a lot in metal in the last 10 to 15 years. We went from, you know, the fucking, you know, Motley Crue to the crazy party drinking psycho, you know, stoners or whatever. But now it's like, if you're in a metal band, you're like, we love the environment and to yourself. You know what I mean? But I love it. I think it's great. I think it has a lot more longevity too. But yeah, so for Ryan, Storm, and Jeremy, do you three have any other paranormal stories you want to touch on besides the one there in the practice space? Anything maybe that happened elsewhere personally or something?
I mean, that one right there stands out to me the most. I mean, I probably had some like when I was like a kid that I can like vaguely remember, but like that one right there stands out the most, because like there was fucking nothing outside.
I had one that's a little bit around the same level. I was roughly a sophomore in high school, and a lot of times I was at home by myself, and for some reason I was just sitting there watching TV, nobody in the house. It was during the day. I had a 2-bathroom house, and the first bathroom was right there in the hallway, and just sitting there, kind of just chilling, watching TV, and see the door swing, and I'm like, okay, what's up? Because I'm all for that. Hey, if you're here, whatever. And then I get up, and then the door slams. I'm not talking like no push. I'm talking it like echoes the house, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do. And nothing happened. Nothing happened after that. I was still questionable about that particular incident because, nobody at that time had passed away currently. And I normally believe that, if somebody passes away currently, they try to communicate with you in certain ways that you can understand or see. And it just something like that happening is...
When did that happen?
It's very crazy.
About 3 months ago.
Yeah, 3 or 4 months.
That makes sense because my grandmother died 3 months ago.
Oh, shit.
She like where I live right now is her old house where like my dad, because like where my dad grew up and shit and like all that. So like that makes sense now. That makes total fucking sense.
All right, I got one.
That makes total sense. And she was like a fucking like stern, like diehard fucking Christian woman too. Like, and I'm pretty sure she is not digging what's happening in this.
All right, I got one, and I even told you guys about this. This actually fucked me up a little bit. I was out with my ex-girlfriend. I just dropped her off at work, and me, I'm an overlander. I like to go off-roading. I like to go see some cool stuff.
Yeah.
So I made a trip out to Cedar Point down there in, I do believe it's Manchester.
He has no idea what you're talking
about. Somewhere in Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
Bumfuck Tennessee.
So not like the roller coaster place.
Yeah.
All right.
So this place, there's about 6 miles of just straight up forest before you actually get to the campground. And on the way there, I was going down the road and it looked like somebody ran out in front of me. And I heard a bump, like I hit like an animal or something. And I pulled over, turned around, and there was nobody there. Nothing. I heard a bump. My truck moved. Everything. Nothing was there. And that straight up looked like a human being that was about 3.5, 4 foot tall, somewhere around there. And
so a child.
What do you think it was?
No clue.
Yes.
No clue. All I know is I turned around and there was nothing there. So if I did hit whatever it was that ran out in front of me, it may have survived and ran off, but it just didn't look like anything I've seen before. And that fucked me up to the point where I turned my ass around and went back to Manchester and said, fuck Cedar Point.
Yeah, I'm going to drive away from here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I had a nice little camp set up, and then I moved down, went down another 5 or 6 miles, and I was just gonna hang out there till my old lady got off work, and I parked there. It was nice, quiet. I was hearing the crickets. I was hearing the cicadas down here because Tennessee gets cicadas every year.
We get them. We don't get them every year, but
every 7 years.
No, every 7 to 13.
We get them.
No,
anyways, they're probably June bug. I don't know. Anyways, that's beside the point. I set up camp. I set my awning up. It's dark outside. I don't even know why I set up the awning. I'm sitting on the tailgate of my truck. I'm just enjoying myself, listening to nature. I get back on the road, and I hit something, and it's not there.
That is pretty bizarre.
Now, there is a couple scratches on the front of my bumper from when I hit said thing.
Really?
That's the real part that fucked me up.
Scratches?
Scratches
Not
on
like
my front.
Dent, but scratches?
Scratches.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
That's strange.
It very much could have been an animal, but again, like I said, nothing I'd ever seen before.
It looked like it was walking on 2 feet.
It was walking on 2 feet, and I hit it. And as soon as I turned around, I saw nothing.
It's baby Sasquatch.
That's
And
what
this
I'm
is-
saying.
I was just about to say, back what?
Did you?
If you want, I will send you pictures
my
of the
dad,
front of my truck.
I'd be down for that.
It's on the front of my truck.
I'd be down for that. Did you notice anything weird about like its legs, the shape of its legs, or anything like that?
It was running. When I say running, its legs were sprouted a good like 4 feet apart. Because them legs were long as shit, but with how tall it was, it didn't make sense.
Oh.
And I swear I was not stoned nor drunk. I was sober as shit driving down this road.
Huh.
It was natural. It was natural.
Because there are, I mean, okay, I'm real. There's something like the dog or the Bigfoot that like is kind of like known. It was made famous from stories in Wisconsin, but another name for it is it's called the Michigan Dogman, and it's one of my favorite ones. You know, things like that, and there are some wild ass stories of that thing out of Tennessee. So that's why I ask if maybe
What's it called?
Don't scare me like that, bro. Don't scare me like that.
It's called
You ain't fucking dog man, bro.
yeah. It's called the Dogman, and it's imagine a werewolf that never changes. It's just that's what it is, you know. So it's like it's got like the backward bent legs. You know what I mean? So that's why I asked about the legs, because it has like the backward bent legs and stuff like a dog, but it can stand up on 2 feet and shit. And yeah, I've heard some fucking crazy stories from Tennessee. Look that up if you ever want to fucking go down a rabbit hole.
I think I ran into that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We're gonna have to do some research now.
Yeah, because man. You guys got some fucking haunted locations that I would kill to investigate too down there.
Adams, Tennessee.
A shitload.
Every time we come
Bear
around,
Creek Church, homie.
I was about to say, there's
Why the fuck does that church have a red light on in the middle of the night and nobody's been there since 1954? What the fuck is up with that church, man? Have you seen it?
No.
They have to take you out there, dude.
that
shit's
or
creepy.
I can't remember the one that had the Bible that you pick up and
That's right, church.
yes, you pick up
If you
the
steal the Bible, you disappear.
Well, you couldn't get to the door because the farther you got to the door, the heavier it got. And I've never been out there, but I've heard so
My
many.
dad's buried out there.
Is that church?
Yeah.
That's the church?
That's Best Bear Church. That's where my dad's buried.
Oh,
Wow, that's wild.
that's freaking crazy.
Yeah, there's some.
The Chapel Hill Lights.
Oh yeah, the Chapel Hill light, or
Now, I can clarify, I have seen it. It's not a man looking for his head on the railroad track. It is literally just a little light orb just fucking around on the railroad tracks, and then it goes away.
that is correct.
And then this asshole who lives literally a half a mile away will shine a spotlight on you if you're sitting on the railroad track. He will call the cops if you're sitting there waiting on the Chapel Hill lights.
Dick.
He's a fucking asshole.
Yeah, he's a dick.
But yes, can confirm the orb. If you ever make it to Tennessee, look up Chapel Hill lights. You'll actually see it. This little fucker's just going around, and then it'll go away. The story behind that though was there was a conductor who had thought he hit something on the railroad and proceeded to pull his gigantic train brake, and it stopped, and he got off, started looking for whatever he had may hit, and then he had actually didn't engage his brake fully, tripped, train took his head off, and the legend says it that he's still out there today looking for his head on the side of the railroad tracks.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Which is why you will see the orb floating around.
That's pretty wild. That's
Seen
pretty
that.
wild. I like that.
Look up the Chapel Hill lights. There's a long ass story about it.
I will. I'm gonna write that down real quick because I am gonna look. I
The
love
Bell
those
Witch.
stories.
If you hadn't heard of the Bell Witch,
Oh, my
Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, Bill Witch.
Oh, I know the Bell Witch.
Yeah.
I've heard many stories about the Bell Witch. That's another thing I
I
want
still
to.
think we need to go out there.
Yeah, fuck that. You seen what happened to them motherfuckers.
You know what? Go to Jamestown, the Dead Man's Curve.
Jamestown.
Go to Jamestown, the Dead Man's Curve. You'll see some ghosts.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
But hang on. How is the Bell Witch location not the perfect place to film a metal video? Like,
Right?
No, sir.
I was about to say,
Unless you want to disappear for the rest
black
of your
metal,
life.
man.
I mean,
Black metal video. Anybody who's in a black metal band, there's your perfect venue right there. Black metal band.
all right.
I would
Unless you're in an island.
Yeah. Guys.
Dude, the Gun Crusher video still gets me.
No.
You guys have given me 2 hours of your time. I can't ask you for any more. Thank you guys.
Oh, man.
So
Hey,
Thank you for having us.
oh my God.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Yo,
Much
this was
appreciated,
incredible, man. You guys are fucking welcome back on anytime if you want something to promote, if you want to just shoot the shit because you're bored. We're gonna be doing a whole bunch of like scary, like horror movies, haunted episodes for October and stuff like that.
Oh,
If you guys want
I'm
to get
totally
down,
for that.
I was about to
Hell
say.
yeah.
Oh, we're totally down
Hit
for
us
that.
up.
Oh,
I
yeah.
will.
We practice every Thursday if you want us on.
Yeah,
Okay.
Every Thursday, man. Yeah, we usually, if you get everybody in this one room, yeah, Thursdays nights is the way to go.
Fantastic. Then yeah, I definitely will get back at you for that because this was a fucking blast, and I cannot fucking wait till things come back to normal. We can go to shows and I get to see you guys live for the first time. I cannot fucking wait because we're gonna
We will
fucking
come.
party. We're gonna
Yeah.
party up there in
If
Michigan.
you're not in the
It's gonna
pit,
go down.
very much disappointed, and I want to see the. Oh, I want to see some action. I'm tired
yeah.
of sitting here.
I'm
I'm
pretty
ready
sure-
to see
I'm pretty sure-
people hit people in faces.
I'm pretty sure Michigan's gonna be ready.
I want to see
Absolutely.
fuck dudes.
You gotta go, Wade.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Thank you so much for being on, man. I really appreciate
Hey,
it.
thank you for having
Bye,
us.
Wade.
Definitely.
Bye, Wade.
See ya.
We love you. Later.
Oh, Ryan. There you go.
That was me. Sorry about
No, you're
bad.
good. You're good.
My bad.
Just real quick to wrap up, please plug everything you guys got, the websites, the social medias, places to get the merch.
This guy is marketing guy. Go for it, marketing guy.
I mean, yeah, we got just about everything that you can think of. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Spotify. We have our 2 tracks currently, Welcome Home and Tic Toxic, on Spotify. We've also got an Instagram page. If anybody out there who's viewing the podcast has any live shots of us, live videos, or even you just wearing our merch, #InterpreterBand. And you know what, man? When everything comes out, we're gonna get you something.
Yeah.
We'll make sure to
Yeah,
get you
we'll
something.
we're gonna hook you up.
Oh man, that's amazing.
We're,
Thanks,
we're,
guys.
we're working on some good things, and we'll try to hook you up with something. But just keep on the lookout. I'll help push all this for you, and help push the page for you, and we can get more people viewing you, and you talking to more people.
Yeah, right.
Dude,
By the way, what is your co-host's band name again?
it's called Bog Wraith.
Bog Wraith?
Yes.
Hold on.
Yes.
I have to spell that.
Bog.
BOGWRAITH. Bog Wraith.
There it is.
They are. They actually just dropped a video this past Friday, I believe. Yeah, this past Friday they just came out with a new video.
Oh, well, right.
Putridity?
Yep. That's
All
the
right.
one.
We'll make sure to check it out.
We're gonna check that out.
You guys are gonna like it. They're really great. He's a phenomenal drummer, and I can't wait for him. I can't wait for the next episode for him to be on with you guys. You guys are gonna fucking love him. But yeah. So yeah, definitely check out all things Interpreter. Do you guys? Is there anywhere to get any merch right now?
Just if you want to get any merch, just message us directly on Facebook, and we'll try to get you what we have. We have a small plethora of our cat shirts left, and I might be able to work something out as far as like just a quick shirt, but we're working on a better form of being able to get merch.
We're working on a merch bundle for our EP release, so that's in the works.
Absolutely.
We're talking about shirts, hoodies, hats, CDs, the whole thing.
Maybe what you got behind you. Maybe a flag.
Maybe a flag. Maybe a flag.
Wait a minute.
Coasters? Oh, yeah, we have these. You want these sick coasters right here.
Oh, those are great.
I'd get you a pillow made if necessary.
Oh, yeah. And
Yeah,
since
I saw
COVID,
that.
in
I saw the
COVID, we
pillows on the Facebook. Oh, that's cool.
and we got masks if you want masks.
Great fucking artwork.
For COVID.
Love it.
He did the artwork.
That's the cat. That's the satanic cat with the upside down cross on his forehead.
That's-
Just look at me funny when I wear that to work.
Yep. I mean,
If
but,
you need something, just message us.
but yeah,
We'll see what
I
we
mean,
do.
for right now, we're working on merch. But once we do, I'm pretty sure we'll have a big cartel. All the the major hitters of where you get merch.
the usual suspects. You guys
The
do.
usual suspects. Yeah.
You do have a band camp, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
yes, we
I remember
do.
I found you on there. Yeah, I do.
Now, currently, I do want to go ahead and we got to get on there and fix it. but currently right now is a very, very old track that I'm going to delete today.
Is it Dirt Mound?
Yes, it is.
Oh yeah, Dirt Mound with CJ McCree. We're gonna cut that out.
Yes, they had a track ready before me and Storm joined.
Yeah, so
and we're gonna, unfortunately, we decided to, as a band, to drop that track. Unfortunately,
we're gonna re-release it on our EP with a new guest vocalist.
Absolutely.
So,
Poor CJ McCreary.
but I mean, yeah, considering the whole CJ shit, we're gonna. We're gonna drop that track, but we're gonna release it on our EP with a new guest vocalist who's local from around here. So
everybody who is actually
on
our EP is local.
Is all local.
That's awesome. I love that. That's fantastic. Awesome, man. You guys, this was absolutely one of the fucking.
I had a blast.
I was about to say,
I
had a good time.
This is some of the most fun I've had doing it yet, man. And it is just again huge. Without Keith, this couldn't have happened. Huge shout out to Keith.
Yeah, yes.
Fucking,
I love you, Keith.
yes.
Keith, you are a fucking god.
We are not worthy. We are
You're
not
not
worthy.
Thank you, brother. You're awesome.
If you're watching this, check out the Convalescence.
Yes.
Just came out with a brand new video called "One of the Dead," and it is fantastic.
It's fucking great.
I love that track. That Monument of Misery. Monument of Misery was on my album of the year list last year. That album still gets me to this day. Like I fucking love
You want to
that.
hear a fun fact?
Yes.
The guitar player Toby Wright put me through what he calls shreducation.
Yeah, him and the drummer used to live here, and then they moved out there.
I was in a band with Toby and Charlie called Field on Fire.
Okay.
That was way back in the day.
That was a local band that Toby and Charles was in, and they used to. You're talking about bands that was on every show. Them two were playing all the shows around town. Decided that they wanted something better, and found it.
Yeah,
That's
Convalescence.
that is so sick, and that's how I feel about the Convalescence. What I told Keith when I talked to him was like there when I first started going to shows back in the day, there are a certain set of bands that you just saw at every show. For me, it was like Hatebreed and Dahlia. They weren't the headliners, but they opened every goddamn show I went to, and they ended up becoming some of my favorite bands. And then now, like from 2015-ish to now, it's been the Convalescence. Just relentless. Like
they've been relentless, man.
Oh my God.
They do not stop, and I envy those guys so much. They're fucking awesome.
I'm proud of
Right.
Absolutely.
I'm very proud of Keith.
I'm proud of Toby.
Yes.
Toby stepped way out of his comfort zone. This man was literally doing the same thing I'm doing. Gent. And then here he is in Convalescence.
That's awesome.
And now you're in a slam band.
Yeah, I
I was
did the same thing Toby did. I'm here in a deathcore / slam / other kind of super heavy metal genre. We're not getting into subgenres here, but I had to adjust very, very difficultly. Like, I'm not used to playing low and slow. I'm used to playing
fast and hard.
fast, techy, and hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sex jokes now, apparently.
Yeah.
You're welcome. But anything, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh my God. It blows my mind that people want to be on this show that we stay so small, and it just means the absolute world to us. So
I mean, Keith hit us up when we were like, yes,
Yes,
please.
yeah. I mean,
Yes.
Interviews are fun.
that's the thing. Like with smaller, you never know.
Yeah.
The one thing that I found out doing marketing is that you never know who's on the other side of that screen.
Yeah, who's watching?
I mean, I stream on Twitch ever so often, and just because I have 1 or maybe 5 viewers, that one viewer could be that one chance that you need.
By the way, Jay, the bass game player.
Don't promote
This
my Twitch
motherfucker.
channel.
This motherfucker
Crash
is
Bandicoot.
he's a
Crash
really
Bandicoot.
fun, interactive Twitch streamer. He's like,
I try
I'm not trying to hype him up because he's my best friend. We've been best friends for 7-8 years now.
a long time.
Anyways, this man truly entertaining. I'm not even just hyping him up. Like, check him out.
You can feel free to check it out if you want to, but I want you to maintain.
He's been playing Fall Guys lately. So.
Oh God! But mainly it's just Interpreter. I'm here to do anything and everything for us as a band, and without push or without even you. Like, we've had small people write small things about us, and just regardless of who sees it, that's great. Like, yeah, actually, that was the thing. Alligator. That was way before our time, and when we joined the band,
any of our time, like
we found it. Alligator. If you search Guitar Hero, Interpreter, Alligator, or I'll even link you the video.
Someone made a guitar.
They made a Guitar Hero of one of our songs.
Oh, that's crazy.
Nobody knew about it.
Nobody knew about it. That's before any of us were in the band.
Like, we didn't find it till he was like, "Hey, dude, somebody made a Guitar Hero of Alligator," and that was a track we didn't even play. And we're just like, okay, and watched it, and it was like, it was pretty epic.
It's pretty good.
Hey, we can't forget about Randiness.
Oh yeah,
realest guy in the room.
If you've ever seen, if you're a follower of local or small streamers like that, his name is Randiness. He does reviews on videos, and he reacted to our Welcome Home lyric video,
and he fell out of the chair.
It was a lyric video.
Was a lyric video?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he reacted to the music video.
Yeah, he reacted to, and just stuff like that. We appreciate.
He fell out of his chair. Like, we made him fall out of his chair. It's great.
Yeah, that's
Small
about the
things
best.
like this. Small things like that we really appreciate.
Yeah, we fucking love it.
Dude, I don't care if one person sees it or 10,000 people see it. You're gonna get Interpreter the same way.
But if it's out of 5 or 5,000, you're gonna get the same energy.
Yep.
That's the fucking mentality. Like, my co-host Aaron, I sort of kind of tricked him into doing this with me. And that's kind of the mentality I've always taken, is like, fuck it. Who cares? Who cares? Just post. Just keep going. Yeah. Keep making stuff. Don't stop. And eventually people might find it. But who cares? We're just having fun, and we're doing it for ourselves, really. So
yeah.
Let him know Interpreter's about to listen to his music too.
Yeah.
I was about to say, we'll give him a shout out on our personal page.
Hell
yeah. Me and Storm might put together a reaction video for you.
Oh shit! That would mean the world. That would be amazing. They would freak the fuck out.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
So don't watch it yet. Don't watch it.
Yeah, we can. We'll
check out.
We're gonna listen to it later.
They have. They released the new video is for a track off their March release, I believe, of a 5-track EP called Titan. But right before that, they released a lyric video for a track called Monstrous. So maybe check that one out or something.
All right.
Okay.
Because Monstrous is a sick track. It's
nice.
sick.
All right. We'll have to check that out, dude.
All right.
You're going to love it. But, man, I cannot ever thank you guys enough for being on. This was amazing. And please, I'm going to hit you up for October. I'm going to have you guys back on. I can't wait.
Fuck yeah.
All
man.
right.
Can't wait.
Fuck yeah, man.
It's gonna be amazing. But hold on, I'll stop the recording here, and then we'll wrap up. So everyone, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Interpreters. This was amazing. Good night.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Hold on. There we go. Holy shit! What an episode! That was mind-blowingly fun. Those guys are fucking awesome. And I already cannot wait. I know I say this every time, but I already cannot wait to have them back on the show. Fingers crossed we can get them back sometime in October for some spooky stuff. Because apparently they had some fucking stories, yo. Holy shit. That's the first time I got that great of a reaction out of that question. And that story Wade told about the Oceana fucking lead singer in that experience was incredible. Yeah, man, I loved talking to these guys. They were absolutely awesome. And man, I hope you all had as much fun watching that as I did making it, as we did making it, because I mean, it was a riot. We were just rolling and having a great time. So thank you. I can never thank those guys enough. Again, Wade, Ryan, Storm, and Jeremy of Interpreter. We could never thank you guys enough for wanting to be on the show and coming on the show. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I really hope that you guys do come back on sometime soon, because I'd love to talk to you again. That was an outrageously fun time. just going off about metal, man. Come on. Nothing better. But all right. So that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it, everyone, for this episode. We're closing it out right here. Episode 153. Special guest interpreter. Man, that was awesome. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will be back again, as always, very soon with much, much more. But until then, raise your fucking horns and bang your goddamn heads. We love you all to death. Good night.